Hello everybody! Today we are going to be talking about converting fractions. Before we get into converting fractions, there's a few key things that you should know. The first is some terminology. So, there are different parts to our fractions. Say I gave you the fraction 3 over 4. There's two key terms that we need to know about this. One is what we call our number 3, and the other term is what we call our number 4. We call the number 3 our numerator. And we call the number 4 the denominator. Okay, so our top number is always the numerator, and our bottom number is always the denominator. Say I were to give you the fraction 10 over 16. What do you think the numerator would be? I'll give you a few seconds. Yeah, so the numerator would be the number 10. What about the denominator? Obviously, that leaves us our 16. So it's always going to be the same. Top number is the numerator, bottom number is our denominator. So I'm going to put those words over in the key terms. So these are ones that you should really know. Okay, now we have 3 more key terms to go over. And those are all our types of fractions. The first type of fraction we have is called a proper fraction. That is when our numerator, our top number, is smaller than our bottom number. Okay? A proper fraction is when our numerator is smaller than our denominator. 3 is smaller than 4. If I were to write this out, it would look like this. 3 over 4. Okay? So that's a proper fraction. Our other type of fraction is called an improper fraction. I'll write that out here for you. That is the opposite. So a proper fraction was our numerator was smaller. Now, in an improper fraction, our denominator is smaller. For example, 16 over 10. See how 16 is bigger than 10? That is improper. That means that we have more on the top than on the bottom. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, let me tell you the reasoning about why these are proper and improper. And that is a whole. So a whole fraction is when the top number is equal to the bottom number. So top is equal to the bottom. Okay? So for example, 1 over 1. We can rewrite this as only 1. How about 10 over 10? What do you think we would rewrite this one as? This one's kind of tricky. We would actually also rewrite this as 1. 1 whole. A whole number is they're equal. A whole number is always equal to 1. I could have 216 over 216. That's also whole, and it is also equal 1. They're equal, our top and our bottom numbers. So that is a whole. So that's something else you should know. Okay. Now let me get rid of all this. And then there's one more type of fraction, and that is called a mixed fraction. And that mixes a proper fraction when our smaller number is on the top and our bigger number is on the bottom, but it also has a whole number in front of it. So an example of a mixed fraction would be 3, 1/6. This is a mixed fraction because it is mixing a whole number. So here we have 3 whole numbers, and it's mixing a proper fraction. Another example of a mixed fraction could be 10 and 1/2. It could be 1000 and 6/20. Notice how in each of these I have a big number, our whole number, and a proper fraction. So I'm going to write these down in our keynotes. We had a proper fraction, improper fraction, and a mixed fraction. So in this video, I'm going to be going over how to turn a mixed fraction into an improper fraction. Okay, now just to recap our key terms, we had our 3 types of fractions, which were mixed, improper, and proper. We had the parts of our fraction, which were the numerator and the denominator. And we had a whole fraction, which again is just when the top number equals the bottom number. Let me now teach you how to go from improper to mixed fractions. Alright, so let's go over turning an improper fraction to a mixed fraction. Okay, and I've written the steps on the side, so if you want, you can screenshot this to refer back to later. First step is I'm going to write down the fraction that I want you to turn into mixed, and that is going to be 10/3. I would like us to turn this into a mixed fraction. Step 1 is to see how many times the denominator can fit into the whole number. Can fit into the numerator. My bad. I'm going to do this by skip counting by 3s until I hit a number that is just under 10 and does not go over it. So it's the closest to 10, but without going over it. So let's skip count by 3s. 3, 6, 9, 12. What number is closest to 10 without going over 10? I'm going to give you a second to think. That will be 9. Notice how 9 is the closest number to 10 without going over it. It's not going to be 12 because 12 is bigger than 10. Okay? So, now I have to see how many times did I skip count by 3 to get to 9. And I'm going to do that just by counting. So, 1, 2, 3. I skip counting 3 times to get to 9. This 3 is going to be our whole number. So for my new fraction, 3 is going to be my new whole number. Step 2 is to keep the original denominator. What do you think the original denominator is? That is 3. Okay? Step 3 says to multiply the whole number and the denominator. Our whole number is 3, and I'm going to multiply that by our denominator, which is also 3. What is 3 times 3? Well, 3 times 3 is 9, and a little shortcut is to figure out what that number was that was close to 10 without going over it. That's a little shortcut. See how that 9 and the 9 are the same thing? That's a little shortcut for you. So our new number is 9. Step 4 says to subtract that number from the original numerator. Our original numerator was 10. See that over here? Our original numerator was 10. And I'm going to subtract 9 from 10. 10 minus 9 is 1. So I know that 1 is our new numerator. So this right here, 3 and 1 over 3, is the mixed fraction of 10 over 3. Let's do one more example. Alright, our next example is going to be 20 over 3. Alright, so let's go through the exact same steps that we did before. First, we have to see how many times 3 can fit into 20. I'm going to do that by skip counting. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. I'm going to give you a second. What number is smaller than 20 without going over it? That would be 18. Again, it's not 21 because 21 is bigger than 20. Even though 21 is closer to 20 than 18, it goes over 20 and we don't want it to go over 20. Okay, now we have to count how many times we skip counted to get to 18. So by that, I'm just going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I skip counted 6 times to get to 18. So I know that 6 is going to be my whole number of our mixed fraction. Next step is to keep the denominator, and our denominator was 3. Step 3 says to multiply the whole number and the denominator. Our whole number is 6 times our denominator, which is 3, which is 18. And again, if you don't remember, a shortcut to that is to find out what that close number was. So notice how our 18 here and our 18 here are the same thing. That's a little shortcut for you. Next step is to subtract that number, so 18, from the original numerator. What was our original numerator? That was 20 minus 18. My 20 I got from our numerator, and the 18 I got from 6 times 3. All right, so what is 20 minus 18? That is 2. So I know that 2 is my new numerator. Now, something that you should always know is that when you're doing mixed fractions, our top number is always going to be smaller because it is a proper fraction. So that's how you do this. Now let me go over the opposite. All right, now what if I gave you 6 and 2 over 4? How would you turn this into a improper fraction? Let's follow our steps. The first step says to multiply the whole number and the denominator. I'm going to give you a second. Can you tell me what the whole number is and what the denominator is? So our whole number is 6 and our denominator is 4. So I'm going to multiply those together. 6 times 4. And that is 24. Okay, I want you to keep this number in mind. Step 2 says to add the numerator and the original and the number that we got. Our numerator is 2, and we're going to add 24. Okay, so I'm going to drop that 24 down here. 2 plus 24 is 26. And it says this is your new numerator. So I'm going to write 26 as our numerator. Step 3 says to keep the denominator, and our denominator was 4. All right, now we're not quite done. Although this is an improper fraction, we're not done. look at step 4. Step 4 says simplify if needed. We do need to simplify this equation. What I noticed here is that 26 and 4 are both even numbers. So that means that we can divide both of them by 2. All right, what is 26 divided by 2? That is 13 if you have a calculator handy, or you could just see what's half of 2, what's half of 6. And then what is half of 4? That is 2. Now, I know that there's nothing that I can divide 2 by and 3 by, and 13 by, so I know that we are done. So our answer is 13 over 2. And I want you to notice something. 6 and 2 over 4 is the exact same thing as 26 over 4 as 13 over 2. These all mean the exact same thing. It's just different ways of writing it. Let me do one more example. All right, the next example I want to show you is 11 and 6 over 2. Sorry, 2 over 6. All right, now, what's our first step? Our first step is to multiply the whole number and the denominator. So, what is 11 times 6? That is 66. Now we have to add that number, so 66, to our numerator, 2. So 2 plus 66 is 68. This is our new numerator. So 68 is our numerator. And it says keep the original denominator. Our denominator was 6. Now, while this is a mixed fraction, remember that we have to simplify it. I noticed that 68 and 6 are both even numbers. So that means we can divide them by 2, just like in our other example. What is half of 68? So half of 68 is 34. I'm actually going to draw that in red. So 34 over 3. Now, 34 and 3 do not have any common factors. We can't make this any smaller, so our answer is 34 over 3. And just like our other example, 11 and 2 over 6 is equal to 68 over 6 and is also equal to 34 over 3. Again, just different ways to write it. Now, why you would need to know how to write it different ways is for adding and subtracting, which is going to be in my next video. That is it, everybody. I hope that you found this video very helpful and that you have a better understanding of converting fractions now. Again, if you have any questions about what we talked about today, don't hesitate to drop a comment. Or if you have any videos that you would like to see, you could also comment them and I will make that video for you as soon as I can. I hope that you'll have an amazing day, and if you would consider liking and subscribing, that would be deeply appreciated. Have an amazing day, everybody. Bye.